How our actions influences the planet that we live on. Hi, my name is Regitze and I have a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing, and I also studied nutrition at Stanford University, California, and I've been vegan for 25 years. So many of the things that we see in the environment is the same inside our body. What is within is also without. That is what scientists have found out, especially physicians. Physics people that study physics, they found out that the same patterns that they find out in the universe, like those big black holes with tons of energy and solar systems that are swirling around, and all this energy that is going on out there, all this is going on also inside our body in much smaller size, of course, because inside our own atoms, not just the cells, but inside the atoms, there's actually tornadoes of energy swirling around. So everything, all the patterns are repeated from the smallest molecule out to outer space. It's really very fascinating. And also in our body, in our body we have communities, just like communities in our outside world. Actually, our body, it consists of 50 trillion cells, and they're forming different kind of communities. So we are not one organism, we're 50 trillion organisms actually. And all these communities, there are communities for garbage, like garbage people that bring out the waste. They're taking waste products from the food or environmental pollution that we take in, or dead cells, and they are transporting them to the elimination system, which is of course our colon and our urinary tract. They're transporting them there to be eliminated. Then we have a healthcare system inside our body, which is the immune system, and we have construction workers that are building our body, because our cells, they only live, it's different depending on what kind of cell it is, but they only live a certain amount of days. And then they die, and new cells are taking over. So our cells are constantly being renewed. So the cells are also having babies that take over the work from the old cells that died. So it's really the same that pattern that is repeated inside our body as outside in our environment. And so what happens when a person gets cancer? And you can actually see our actions towards our earth as a sort of cancer to the earth, because we are destroying the host that we're living on, the very planet that we're living on. Just like a cancer can destroy the host of a person or an animal. And what cancer is actually our own cells that starts to divide unlimited and way too fast. Whereas a normal cell, or healthy cells, they divide a certain amount of time, then they die and new cells are taking over. But a cancer cells just divides unlimited and also way too fast. So how do we get rid of cancer? And like I said, we can be considered the cancer of the planet. We're destroying the very planet that we live on. Well, how we get rid of cancer in the human body is either by cutting it out, getting rid of the cancer, maybe having chemotherapy, radiation, maybe some other treatment. So we're killing the cancer. So if we would be killing the cancer on the earth, then we'll be killing ourselves and the planet would survive. But that wouldn't be too good for us. And the second way is where the host dies. So the person with cancer dies. And that would be then looking at the planet, that would be the planet that dies, which is also not good for anybody. But there's a third way, and that is that the cancer becomes inactive. So it starts to behave like normal cells again. It stops dividing unlimited and dividing too much and dividing too fast. And the way that we can do that in our environment is by stopping to exploit our host, stopping to exploit the planet. And what we're doing, we're exploiting the natural resources. And some of the resources is actually the animals that live on the planet. And actually, the main source of environmental destruction comes from the meat production. When I say meat, I actually mean animal protein production, which is meat, dairy, eggs, and fish. They all lead to a lot of environmental destruction, and it's not only the meat or the animal protein production. It's everything that is connected to that. It's the production of food, it's the transportation of the animal protein products and the transportation of the food, and it leads to deforestation because they're cutting down the rainforest to make space to grow food for animals. And it's also leading to water pollution and pesticides and antibiotic resistance, because we are giving the animals antibiotics so that they can live long enough until they get slaughtered, because they're living under such poor conditions that if they don't get antibiotics, then they would die too soon. But the antibiotics that we're giving them is making the animals produce antibiotic-resistant bacteria that can also be transferred to human beings. I have other videos around that also. And greenhouse emissions, it's the biggest source of greenhouse emission because of all the transportation and the transportation of food and the animal meat protein and also the deforestation, and actually the methane that cows they eliminate is way stronger than CO2. It's one of the strongest greenhouse gases, so it's way more destructive than CO2. I got a lot of these resources from Dr. Bruce Lipton, a famous cell biologist. We can link his YouTube below. Yeah, I hope you found it useful. Give me a like if you like it, subscribe for more, share it with friends and family. And also down below we have a free cheat sheet which explains which food products, and it's normal food products like that you can get in most grocery stores, most of them at least, what kind of disease or not just disease but also pain, what they can be used for in your daily life. So go ahead and download that, and it's called Which Plant for Which Disease. There's a link in the description. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.